board are scanned each time a weapon is handed out. When an armory opens and closes, there's a visual count of each weapon. A monthly inventory is taken to match serial numbers on each item with a list of what is supposed to be there. It is a cardinal sin to lose a weapon. If one vanishes, an entire base can be shut down while there's a hunt for the gun. Investigative records obtained by the AP show troops sleeping on the job, unsecured buildings, inventories not completed, and missing or destroyed records. In some cases, the armory custodian is part of a conspiracy to steal guns. The Pentagon says it has excellent accountability of weapons and takes any losses very seriously because they represent a national security concern. But officials cannot say how many guns have vanished. In some cases, the military doesn't know that one of its weapons is gone until days, months, or even years later.
Hi, my name is Kristen Hall. I'm a reporter with the Associated Press. This is my colleague, James Laporta. I want to tell you a little bit about our series, AWOL Weapons. This started with an idea I had about 10 years ago when I was a military reporter for the AP covering Fort Campbell. And I noticed that there were cases of soldiers taking weapons off post and getting caught with them. And so it just sparked this idea of how many times does this happen? And how are they getting away with it? These are supposed to be very secure weapons, locked up really tight. And you know, what we found in our investigation was that a lot of times these guns go missing and they're not recorded, they're not logged, they'll go missing in transit. We found one gun, a military Beretta, that was used in 4 different shootings in Albany, New York. And the Army never knew that it was even missing from Fort Bragg. So I think our investigation took years because we had so much trouble getting information out of the Army and the other services. They stonewalled us and refused to give us information. And so we basically had to kind of create a database of these weapons and incidents. Some of the things that we found, you know, these lost weapons of war were ending up in people's backyards. They were ending up, you know, these grenades were ending up, you know, alongside train tracks. You know, children were even finding some of these weapons. We know there was one example of a man who was injured and another man who was killed when a military explosive went off at a scrapyard. So this is, you know, really important information that we were able to discover, and once we put our story out, the reaction was immediate. Congress, as you can see, talked to the highest ranking military officials, and now there is a law that requires the DoD to report weapons losses to Congress, and the Army created a whole new accountability system for their weapons. And I just want to say this could not have been completed without the help of our editors, Justin Pritchard, Ron Nixon, my colleague Justin Myers, and Jason Deering, and Jeannie Ohm. And I'm going to introduce you to James Porter.
Hi, good morning. I'm going to talk about the role of journalism. It really is an honor to be here and to receive this prestigious award from the American Legion. I used to have this quote that I would keep at the bottom of my email that I always thought of journalism as an extension of my military service. And the quote was that journalism is just as vital to the survival of democracy than the armies that guard its borders. You know, if journalism gives, you know, a voice to the voiceless, it exposes injustices and holds leaders accountable. That's what good journalism does. And the practitioners of journalism, imagine a world without the practitioners of journalism. Imagine a world without Ernie Pyle. We wouldn't have that iconic photograph at Mount Suribachi. Or imagine a world without a Joe Galloway. You know, the first major engagement between American soldiers and soldiers from North Vietnam would not have been covered. My friend Kathy Gannon just retired from the Associated Press after 35 years of covering Afghanistan. She covered Afghanistan so long that she covered me as a Marine when I was there in 2009. So I really just appreciate the American Legion in honoring outstanding journalism out there. Like I said, like Kristen said, this project would not have been completed without our editors and the entire platoon of reporters that came together at the Associated Press. On a personal note, I'm a combat infantry Marine. I've lost 23 friends in combat, probably another 9 to suicide. So anything post 2009 that happens to me that is good, I do it in their memory. So thank you.
Membership recruitment never stops. We just got a brand new member to the American Legion. The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, which in recent years have won 3 previous Fourth Estate Awards, is being recognized in the print category for its piece, Military Suicide Takes Toll on Wisconsin National Guard. Journalists Caitlin Farrell and Natalie Brophy the cases of 4 Wisconsin veterans who took their own lives just months after they served in Afghanistan together. Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin pressed Guard leaders for more transparency and data on suicides. Let's take a look at this award-winning work.
The primary disability that I live with is not from the rape. It is from 4 years of unmitigated, unchecked, brutal command retaliation. My life before this, I climbed the highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere. I hiked across the Sierra Nevada alone. I kayaked Lake Superior solo for a week. I danced. And I got to be on all these amazing television series. Now, I maybe can leave my house 3 times a week for appointments. If I do more than that, the thoughts of suicide and the pain become unbearable.
Accepting the award is Caitlin Farrell.
Hi, good morning. On behalf of myself and my reporting partner, Natalie Brophy, thank you so much for the recognition of this important work. I just want to thank all the editors at the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, that continues to allow us and me to do really important investigative work that takes a lot of time, especially my editor, Sam Rowe. And I especially want to thank the families that were so selfless and wonderful in sharing the stories of their sons. So the video that you saw was actually not particularly related to this piece of journalism I did, but a different series I had done on the National Guard. This series cataloged the lives and stories of 4 quite young Wisconsin Army National Guard men, James, Eric, Evan, and Logan. They all were deployed to Afghanistan together. They all came home together, and they all unfortunately took their lives within 6 to 8 months of each other. And so it was a privilege and also really difficult to tell their stories, but I just want to thank their families, because I and the rest of my fellow reporters can't do journalism unless people are willing to share and talk and spend time with us, and often that can be really difficult for those families. So thank you again so much for your support and recognition, and my intention in working on stories like this and writing this piece is that it can really help change the awful statistics we know about suicide in the military, and also highlight the important contributions of the National Guard, which I think they've served a huge and important role, especially during the pandemic, and I think often is somewhat misunderstood by the general public. So thank you so much again.
Our next guest served 37 years in the Army as a military intelligence voice intercept operator. She is a registered nurse with 2 master's and 2 bachelor's degrees. She retired from the Army as a Chief Warrant Officer 5 and is president of the Women in Military Service for American Memorial Foundation, the only major national memorial honoring the 3 million women who have served since the Revolution. A Legionnaire, she was a Power Player of the Week on Fox News Sunday 2020. Please welcome the president of the Military Women's Memorial, Phyllis J. Wilson.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Awesome. Well, I am so honored as a fellow Legionnaire to stand in front of you today to tell you a little bit about the Military Women's Memorial. And I can tell you over the last couple of days that I've been here at the convention, there are people that know about it, and as soon as they realize where I work, they have to tell me they're a charter member. They were there the day the doors opened. And there are others that say, when are you building it? When will it happen? Well, we're about to celebrate our 25th anniversary. I'd like to start with just a short video that gives you a taste of what it was like almost 25 years ago when we opened our doors. Women and men came from across the country. Nearly 40,000 were there. And please listen closely near the beginning. We had 2 women that were alive in 1997, over 100 years of age, from World War I. One of them spoke, and she said, when I served in the Navy, women, let's play the video.
We got off at the metro site, and oh my God, I looked to my left down toward the memorial, and it was just a sea of people. And you couldn't find an empty place all the way down to the Lincoln Memorial.
When I served in the Navy, women were not even allowed to vote.
There were tens upon tens of thousands of people there, all helping to give recognition to the immensity of what this memorial was and will be.
We are here today at Arlington Cemetery before this beautiful memorial on sacred ground to honor and pay tribute to the generations of American women who have served and are serving in our nation's armed forces.
It was so powerful, and there was nothing else to do but cry.
Thank you. America knows what you do and what you have done. Maybe it hasn't always been recognized in the past, but today we proclaim loudly and clearly, we recognize it, we're grateful for it, we say God bless you, and we will always thank you for helping to make our country what it is.
Well, I was sitting on the dais, and one of the things I had planned was for the military to bring the flags of the states and territories down that aisle. I have talked to some of the people who were carrying those flags, and they said it was one of the most unforgettable moments of their life because people were reaching out and touching those flags. It meant so much to them.
I am Captain Linda Bray. I stand for the women who served in Grenada, Panama, and the Gulf War.
It was overwhelming. It was a feeling of pride. It was a feeling of camaraderie to see so many women in one place. And to have them still wearing their hats or maybe their ribbons on their suit.
Yes, one of the things I had encouraged them to do was if you can't wear your uniform, wear whatever part of it fits. So some of them had on their hat, and that's all they had, but they came.
Shortly, the doors of your memorial will be open. Let's go down and cut the ribbon.
There are so many memories of the dedication, and one of them is a quotation from an Army nurse that served in World War II. And to me, it epitomizes what this memorial is about. When she wrote, "Let the generations know that women in uniform also guaranteed our freedom, that our resolve was just as great as the brave men who stood among us. And with victory, our tears fell just as hard." And that's the mission of the memorial, to let the generations know that women in uniform also guaranteed their freedom.
So, as you can see, I have an amazing job. How much fun do I have every day? And I was doing great, but I was watching some of the ladies here in the front row getting a little choked up at seeing this story. But it's a happy choked up. It's getting the recognition that many times we don't. And let me tell you quickly, I was not going to apply to become the president of the memorial and the foundation because I was a soldier, and I didn't feel like I needed a place for women only, but I was wrong. Just before I applied, I parked in a veteran parking spot outside of a grocery store, and a gentleman said to me, "Excuse me, that's veteran parking." I know. I served. So we had a conversation, and it crossed my mind that had I been a man, served in the military or not, and parked in that veteran space, that gentleman likely would have not said anything to me. And it made me realize that America still does not quite get, there are 3 million women that have defended this nation since the Revolutionary War till today. And we get to tell their stories individually and collectively. So every one of you that knows a woman in the military, yourself, a family member, a friend, we have a national database which has 303,000 incredible stories in there. But that's 10% of the stories that should be in that database. Each and every one of our stories needs to be told, because someday, if you don't claim that rightful place in history, it will fall to the wayside and people will never know not just your own individual story, but how as a team, collectively, we stand on the shoulders of that lady that says, when I served in the Navy, women were not allowed to vote. And now women can serve in every career field, in every MOS, in every branch of service, as long as they meet the qualifications. In 100 years, that's what's happened. But when researchers go in to find the stories, we have to tell the more current, contemporary stories, as well as those that are so richly told from World War I and II. But from the Gulf War till today, people will say, I just this, or I didn't do anything that special. Yes, you did. You raised your hand. That's enough. So I will tell you that a lot of people also forget, or they think, because we're located at the entrance to Arlington National Cemetery, that we are fully funded by the United States government. We are not. I am the president of the foundation, and every day I am out there raising the money to make sure not only do we tell the stories of them on our database, but when you come to visit us, we're like a museum. From the Revolutionary War till today, we're the largest holder of artifacts, uniforms, photos, all that headgear, all those boots, all those boots. My God, do we have boots. We could probably outfit a whole army with boots. They might not be comfortable, because many of them are from World War I and II, and they did not make shoes that were meant for comfort for us. But I would tell you that the American Legion and the Auxiliary have been fantastic supporters and friends to us, having shared over the last 30 years more than $650,000 to the memorial. You guys are one of our best supporters, and that's why I'm so proud to be a member. So as I get ready to close, there's a 1-minute video that will sort of share with you what our future looks like. We have all the designs completed. We've spent 2.5 years and about $6 million. Now we're ready, once we have all the funding, to change what the inside of that memorial looks like. New technology, new storytelling. So when our young men and women, our boys and girls come to visit that memorial, they'll stop and they'll pay attention and they'll learn in a way that a flat story panel just does not engage our young Americans anymore. But I need help from every one of you and anybody that you know, whether financially or just get the word out that women must claim their rightful place in history at our memorial. It's your memorial. Claim it, take care of it, and support us. Thank you very much. I've got a short 1-minute video.
From America's beginning, women have answered the call to serve. Our stories of triumph and sacrifice are vital to our country's history. We serve in every branch of the military, at every level, as warriors, innovators, and leaders. The Military Women's Memorial is the only national memorial dedicated to the lives of American servicewomen. For more than 20 years, our world-class education center has brought the nation together to honor their courage, determination, and love of country. The Military Women's Memorial will bring these stories to life for a new generation. Help us honor her service.
Now I would like to call a very special person to join me here at the lectern. My best friend, she allowed me to make this journey. First of all, the forever candidate, seemed like that wasn't going to get here. And then this year, she's helped me make the journey, and without her, I couldn't be here today. For more reasons than you can ever dream of. I love you. You want to say something? No.
Well, I wasn't planning on saying anything, but I want to thank you all for taking care of him for a year, getting him back to me, I think. I'll let you know next week if that still holds true. But I also want to let you know that he did have a big support system behind him and his family. His boys are eagerly awaiting for him to come home. And we've got some grandbaby time, and yes, a little time on the golf course. So thank you all for the journey. It's been wonderful, and we are very happy to hand it over to the next person to enjoy the journey as well. Thank you so much.
You know, if anybody needs a person to mow the lawns, I will hire her out. It's the first time in, how long we've been married, 69 years, that you've ever got to mow. No, I forget, but it's 39. Sometimes it seemed like 9. But yeah, she wouldn't let me get anybody to hire. We did hire somebody while I was in Europe. If not, we'd have been in trouble the time we got home. Probably will be now after we got all this rain. We hadn't had rain in so long. But she does a pretty good job. Don't weed eat, don't edge, just mows. But she did a good job. And I tell you, I got 2 fine boys. Y'all met them last year. They weren't in the military, but you would never know it. Got 3 good grandsons now. Got one 4.5 months old, and that's the reason they couldn't come. The other 2 is in school. And I would like to report, many of you know my second grandson, the middle one now, he was diagnosed with leukemia about the time we got to Hawaii. But he's doing good. In fact, the drop date where he's supposed to be completely recovered will be February of 2024. So he's doing good. Everybody is positive. I want to thank each and every one of you because I know there's many prayers. So I want to thank y'all for that. That's what the Legion family does. Right now, I would like to ask my National Vice Commanders, please come forward. All of my Vice Commanders have represented me well during this past 12 months. I appreciate your devotion and sacrifice for this great organization. You know, when we put out the call last December working on toxic exposure, I got together with legislative to give them a piece to talk about, and they all carried the message well. I know a lot of times you read in the ink that from Georgia to Alaska, and I felt like a Baptist preacher thumping the Bible, but these 5 guys also did the same thing. That way we had 6 of us out there trying to spread the word, and evidently it worked because all of y'all responded. We just didn't make sure we need to continue to do that. And 3 of these National Vice Commanders, their department went over gold. One of them grew by over 6%. And the other 2 worked just as hard and got some departments up there in their areas. But they did spend some great time and they represented not only myself, but the American Legion very well, and I do appreciate them. And as a token of my appreciation, I would like to present each of you with a gift.
Mr. Commander, as spokesman for your 5 National Vice Commanders, we talked to your wife, and she informed us that she's a much better golfer than you, and that you can't make as many birdies as she can. So what we've done, and she also said that you don't like to ride in a cart, but we want to help you in that we've got for you here a new golf bag, a new golf cart, and if you look inside that golf bag, Mr. Commander, there's an extra iron which may help you not make more birdies, but it may help you shoot more birdies.
Oh, okay.
So you might want to open that up and.
Which one? What's the first,
For everybody's information, that happens to be a 9mm Glock. Woo. And you may be able to shoot some birdies, even though you can't make them with a golf club.
Tell you about her golf game. She talks about Tiger Woods and the rest of them going out there and taking 5.5 to 6 hours to shoot a 68 or 64. She said she didn't know why they waste that much time, because she can go out there in 2 hours and 15 minutes and shoot a 68 on the front nine and go home. Now, she would actually need, I don't know, I've started taking her to the gun range a lot. Before that, she would need a shotgun to hit a birdie if it's sitting still. But I still love you, and we're going to play some golf.
Can't hit you on stage.
She said she couldn't hit me on the stage. Nothing stopped her before. Why do you want to stop now? I now call on the National Historian, the Sergeant at Arms, the chaplain, and my aide to come forward. You each played an important role in the success of our organization during the past year. I salute you for your service. And I have some gifts I would like to give you as a token of my appreciation.
Well, I've got a gift here for you, Commander, and I started to make a comment about your skills that I observed over the years.
What do you think talk about?
But rather than be facetious, I say they're actually pretty good. So we got together, the four of us, and got you a gift here. The people in the state of Texas would like you to fill out some paperwork before you actually take possession of it. But I think this will help your marksmanship skills a little bit, and it'll be a lot of fun also.
That's all you gave me? There you go. Oh, wow. Golden boy. I don't know if y'all been talking to Donna Center, but we live in the gated golf course community. Really, it's not that dangerous down there. But with all these rifles and guns, you know, even on the road, Greater Arms out of Connecticut gave me a 44. In North Carolina, I got a 6.5 Patriot with a scope. Shoot, man, it's a good year. About that Henry I got day before yesterday. I can't hardly wait to get all of these. I don't know if I'll have time to play golf. But we did, Donna and I never did try to teach her to play golf. You know, my son had got his PGA card, and I'd went all those years with him and Hank Haney and all that stuff. So she would never listen to me, but she'd listen to him. And he tried to tell her, said, Mom, Dad knows what he's talking about, but she says I keep repeating it and William doesn't. And I said, well, just remember what I said. I wouldn't have to repeat it. But we did go to the gun range because there's no way I was going to try to teach her, and there's another gentleman over there that does an outstanding job, and so she started liking it, so I got to go get her skills tuned up when we get home, so we'll have plenty of time to do that. Next, we have a few words from our National Adjutant, Dan Wheeler. A few words. I'm sticking.
Well, like everything, I have a script, and like usually, it's not adequate for what we feel. I'd like my management team to join us up here. Senior management team. That includes you, Stevie. First of all, I want to tell you, we keep track of how much money is raised during each National Commander's year of stewardship. We have a new record here, especially for an old guy. He has raised $12,895,889 for American Legion program. You are the $12 million man. But Commander, you came to us as the forever candidate, and you're leaving us as our forever friend, Paul Dillard, because we all love you and admire you. You always are upbeat, always smiling, always dispensing words of advice as if they were old adages and not something directed to each of us. You've just done a fabulous job, and we count you as a dear friend, and we know you'll be around for a long time, and we're just so happy that we had the opportunity to serve with you. So we've got a few gifts for you. We understand that you are a collector. Oh. Over here. We understand that you are a collector, and we've got you a case to keep your collection in. I don't think it'll be big enough, but it'll be a starter for you. And we put some of the hotel silverware in there just to help you out.
Is it left-handed or right-handed?
I think you can use it either way.
Either hand?
So that's just a little thing to help you out. We saw that you got a new golf bag and golf cart. So we wanted to give you something to fill it with. So we got you a set of golf clubs.
Is that from my new grandson?
No, this is for you. You're getting, you might not have the reach you used to have. I don't even know how to get in this thing. Well, anyway, use it like this. There are golf clubs in there. There you go. Pretty nice set, too.
Hey!
Hey. Yeah. Good.
That's getting you close to your work.
Yep. Seriously, we know that you're a great golfer, and that we know that you're a great golfer, and we were thinking of something we could give you that you perhaps do not already have. And what we have got for you is a bunch of money for you to get your own custom-made set of golf clubs from your choice of manufacturers. And we hope that you shoot all those birdies with these and think of us. And finally, Bill West, we've enjoyed having him, but now he's yours.
You know, 6 months ago, he didn't say those words about me. No, I tell you what, just like the money that we've raised this year that they talked about, that wasn't me, it was all of y'all. You're members at your post throughout this nation. And what a great bunch of folks we've got. But that's y'all's money. Y'all raised that for this organization. And it was hard to stumble when you have a great staff like the American Legion has, not only in Indianapolis, but also in Washington, D.C. That's the reason we get a lot of our bills passed, is the just tireless work they do up there. And we do have a great staff in both offices. And so it makes it easy for me to run around and get the ink in the paper and get to enjoy our success, because each and every one of y'all did it, we did it, and we're going to continue to do it, and we will be the largest, best, greatest organization in the world, and we will always get her done for our veterans. National Vice Commander Jamie Guerra, will you please take the gavel and preside over the next order of business?
After serving as a National Vice Commander, I am honored to represent all members of the American Legion in presiding over the next order of business. This is the time we present our National Commander, Paul E. Dillard, the colors of his term of office and a plaque. At this time, I call upon past National Commander David K. Rabine to present the colors.
Will the delegates to this national convention please rise? I ask Newport Harbor American Legion Post 291, Department of California, to bring the colors of the national commander to center stage.
Outward. Outward. March.
And salute.
Ready. Face. Face and colors.
Two. Commander, would you join me at the podium?
Two.
Commander Dillard, as we stand here and gaze upon those two beautiful flags, the Stars and Stripes of the United States and the Red Banner of the American Legion, we reflect upon our service. We have all given years of service under that U.S. flag, but today we reflect on the year of service that we have all given under that Red Banner. A year of service in which you have led us to new accomplishments. We particularly reflect on the passage of the Plaque Act under your leadership. As you take these flags home, each time you look at them, remember the accomplishments of this year. Remember the pride we feel in your year of leadership. And remember all of those experiences that you enjoyed and those many thousands of Legionnaires that you met as you led us through this last year. Thank you for that year of service. Post these flags at home with the same pride that we feel in presenting them to you. Thank you, Commander, and know that you have left no veteran behind.
Color Guard, retire my colors.
Outward. Forward.
And salute.
March.
Two. Thank you, Commander Rabine. You have been a close friend. Not only has the American Legion been fortunate to have you as a mentor and example of our Legion College. I didn't know it made you stand. The American Legion has been very fortunate to have you as a mentor and example to our Legion College students. But your wisdom and experience are tools that can benefit future national commanders, just as it has helped me. There are far too many people who helped me throughout my Legion career for me to start naming them here, but rest assured that you are one whose counsel I value highly. I now call on National Vice Commander Michael Letron to assume the podium.
I now call on past National Commander Daniel M. Dellinger to present the plaque to our outgoing National Commander.
Thank you, National Commander Mitrione. Commander Dillard, will you please join me at the podium? 9 years ago, I stood on a stage similar to this, and I witnessed a Legionnaire from Texas take the oath as National Vice Commander. In that year, I watched his dedication and his leadership as he served as my National Vice Commander. It was truly an honor to have served with him. Just as I saw that year, you see today, or you've seen this entire year, his leadership ability and his dedication to our great organization. This year, he put us over the goal line as the Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, honoring our PACT Act, gets most of the attention because of the benefits it provides to veterans exposed to burn pits. But that's just part of it. It also provides care and benefits for many exposed to Agent Orange and radiation. You have kept the faith with your fellow Vietnam veterans. There's no underestimating the impact of this legislation. It has been called the most comprehensive veterans health care legislation ever. It did not happen on its own. It was truly a group effort by everyone here, led by this great Legionnaire. He's done an outstanding job, and we thank you for that. You've also kicked off Be the One to help in our fight against veteran deaths, suicides. And you kept your promise to the veterans that no veteran would be left behind. You have been an outstanding commander this year. And I'm happy to present the plaque to you, which attests to your election to the high office of National Commander of the American Legion. It's given in appreciation to your dedicated leadership and your recognition and devotion to the four principles of our great organization in service to God and country, in a token of high esteem of your fellow Legionnaires. The plaque reads, Paul E. Dillard, 2021-2022, given the first day of September 2022, before the delegates assembled at the 103rd Annual National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You will go down in history as one of the greatest national commanders of our time. God bless you, my friend.
It is people just like that, just like the two past national commanders that just spoke, that this organization remains strong. And I've got to mention one name, John D. Morris, my father-in-law from Texas. Thank you, past National Commander Dillinger. There are many things that I will remember about this year, but passing the PACT Act truly was a group effort. So many people in this convention hall and in Legion Post around the world wrote, called, contacted their senators and representatives. They also wrote letters to the media. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the auxiliary and the sons of the American Legion for helping us get this passed. Our programs are solid. And I do believe that if we can continue to practice buddy checks and regularly initiate personal contact, we can see membership grow. In other words, no veteran left behind. And above all, be the one. Be the one to make that phone call. Be the one to save that life. Be the one to talk to your veterans, your brothers and sisters. We all recall the great advocacy and media attention that you brought during your year as National Commander and how you were able to help turn VA around, making it truly a system worth saving and preserving. And I want to thank you personally for your leadership, friendship, and support. We have come now to a special order of business, the election of national officers. Now, Judge Advocate Mark Seavey, will you read the rules of convention governing the nomination and elections of officers?
The rules for election of national officers are as follows. Voting shall be by acclamation except when a roll call is demanded by the chairman of at least 3 departments. Election of national officers shall be by roll call. Prior to the election of national officers, the national commander shall appoint, subject to the approval of the convention, a judge of election and such number of tellers as he deems necessary, provided that the total tellers so appointed shall be an odd number. In a contested election, each candidate going to the ballot shall be entitled to 1 teller of his choice. Nominations for national officers shall be from the floor on roll call of the departments alphabetically arranged. Each department may present as many candidates as it chooses. Nominating speeches for national officers shall be limited to 5 minutes each. Not more than 2 seconding speeches shall be made for any candidate, and said speeches shall be limited to 3 minutes. When more than 2 candidates are nominated for any office, balloting shall continue until 1 candidate receives a majority of the votes of the convention, except in the election of national vice commanders. In a contested election for national vice commanders, balloting shall continue until A, majorities, and B, pluralities are established for 1 or more candidates under the following provisions. If on any ballot taken, less than 5 candidates receive the necessary majority to elect, the candidate or candidates receiving a majority vote shall be declared elected, and a new ballot shall be taken for the remaining number of places to be filled. The candidate receiving the lowest number of votes on the preceding ballot shall be disqualified, except should 2 candidates remain to fill 1 place, a new ballot shall be taken. The convention will nominate and elect a national commander and 5 national vice commanders in this sequence. At the conclusion of balloting on national vice commanders, each department delegation chairman shall deliver a written ballot to the tellers. Such ballots shall be in the hands of the tellers before communication is made to the national commander for the announcement of the results. This concludes the rules of the elections.
Thank you, Judge. As chairman of this convention, I now appoint as judge of the election William West, Adjutant, Department of Texas, as tellers of the election James W. Casey, Adjutant, Department, New York, Nathan Gear, Adjutant, Department of Wisconsin, and Harry R. Butch Hanson, Jr., Adjutant, Department, Connecticut. Will the judge and tellers of the election please come forward? Okay, they're seated. National Adjutant Daniel S. Wheeler will now call the roll of the departments. The purpose of the roll call is to receive nominations for National Commander of the American Legion.
Alabama.
Mr. Commander, Tina Bush, delegate from Alabama. Mr. Commander,
Alabama yields to New York.
New York.
Mr. Commander, Frank LaMarche, delegate from New York. Mr. Commander, I request the chair recognizes past National Commander Fang A. Wong for the purpose of a nomination for the high office of National Commander.
The chair recognizes past National Commander Fang Wong of the Department of New York.
Thank you, Mr. Commander. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor and privilege to stand here today to place in nomination a name of an outstanding Legionnaire and a good friend of mine to lead us through the year 2022-2023. Vince James Jim Triola. My friendship with Jim goes back over 20 years, back to the days when we were both serving, learning our way through the Department of New York under another great Legionnaire, Richard M. Pijo. Rest in peace, Dave. Throughout the year, Jim and I have maintained closely contact, crossed our paths by the various assignments we served within the department, especially the year I was the department membership consultant and Jim was the department membership chairman. We traveled together all over the great Department of New York to conduct membership workshops. During those weekend trips, we all always share our view and our expectation of the department and the American Legion. Now, there are a couple of secrets that you need to learn about Jim before you choose to vote for him today. Those are the things that uniquely and qualify him to be our leader of the greatest veteran organization in the world. Number one, now this is important, Jim's leadership. It's no secret, Jim is tall. He's very tall. So he can look far ahead into our future. Because he's tall, he automatically commands respect for most people because we all have to look up to him, especially those little children rowing his bus to and from school every day. Jim's leadership abilities not only make him very successful in his civilian career, it also allows him to perform outstandingly service at every level of this great organization. Number two, Jim's insight. Recently, I came across a letter, and I'd like to read a portion of the letter to you. Quote, "Sir, I am Matt Flynn. In 1997, you helped me go to Boise State, which was a prerequisite for Congressman Ben Gilman to nominate me for the U.S. Air Force Academy. Going to the U.S. Air Force Academy was a lifelong dream of mine. I graduated in 2002 and now a lieutenant colonel. I went to pilot training just after graduation and flew KC-135s in combat in both Iraq and Afghanistan and many other places around the world. I volunteered for MQ-1s, drones, as we all know, in 2010 and flew remotely in Iraq, Afghanistan, and the Arabian Gulf. I planted and liaisoned the first MQ-1 missions in the Arabian Gulf to provide overwatch of aircraft carriers transiting the Strait of Hormuz during the time when Iran was verbally aggressive. I instruct MQ-1 pilots at Holloman Air Force Base, New Mexico. I spent time on staff at the U.S. Air Force Europe and planned a number of activities, including the first MQ-9 flight in European airspace, addition of new capabilities in theater that are being used to counter Putin. Co-wrote the U.S. Air Force portion of the Secretary of Defense and the President's response to Poland when they offered $2 billion for the strategic basing of U.S. forces there and sat with Polish delegations across the table discussing the particulars in Warsaw. I am now in Boston. I'm leading 300 software engineers in building new command and control software. I didn't write everything up there to brag about me. On the contrary, it felt right to ponder and describe the vast area of amazing opportunities I have over the course of my Air Force career, because I could never have done this thing elsewhere, and it was my dream come true. It's my honor and my privilege to have taken each step along the way. You make this life experience possible. I deeply appreciate who you are as a person and specifically what you did to help me. I can never say it enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please stay in touch and let me know if there's ever anything I can do for you. Eternally grateful, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew T. Flynn, end quote. Now, you probably already guessed it. This letter was addressed to Jim that he formed a seed over 25 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I call insight. If Jim sees a potential out there, he will waste no time to support or mentor that individual to ensure his or her dreams will be rich, to say the least. Number 3 is Jim's attitude. He is a true believer of the Legion's 4 pillars of service to our nation, our communication, our children, and our veterans. He always walks the talk by supporting Legion programs that affect our veterans on a daily basis. When he traveled this day, you will hear Jim talk about be the one. That is, be the one to ask veterans in your life how they're doing. Be the one to listen when veterans need to talk. Be the one to reach out when a veteran is struggling, and so on. Mr. Commander and fellow Legionnaires, whereas I, Fang A. Wong, is a duly elected delegate to this convention from the Great Department of New York, and whereas I would like to place a strong and resounding nomination for Vincent James Jim Triola for the high office of National Commander of the American Legion. Now, therefore, be it resolved that each delegate of this convention be the one to support Jim's candidacy. And it be it finally resolved that the national adjutant, right here, be the one to cast that one vote for our next national commander, Vincent James Jim Triola. Thank you.
Continuing the roll call. Alaska.
Mr. Commander, Mike Downs, delegate from Alaska. Mr. Commander, Alaska yields to Kansas.
Kansas.
Mr. Commander, Mary Krupko, delegate from Kansas. Mr. Commander, I request that the chair recognize Dan Wiley for the purpose of seconding the nomination for the high office of National Commander.
The chair recognizes Dan Wiley.
Good morning. National Commander Dillard, National Adjutant Wheeler, National Officers, past National Commanders, delegates and guests to the 103rd National Convention of the American Legion. I am Dan Wiley, a delegate from the state of Kansas, and it is my distinct honor and privilege to second the nomination of Vincent James Jim Triola, representing the Empire State of New York, to the high office of National Commander of the American Legion. A paid-up-for-life Legion member and a member of the Sons of the American Legion at the William E. Du Bois Jr. Post 1682 In New City, New York, Jim has served in numerous leadership positions at all levels of the American Legion. At the post level, Jim served as membership chairman, oratorical chairman, vice commander, and commander. He held these same positions at the county level, and during his time as Rockland County commander, he served on the Military Academy Review Board and the Veterans Advisory Committee for United States Congressman Benjamin Gilman. He served the 9th District of New York as oratorical chair, adjutant, legislative chair, vice commander, and commander. For the Department of New York, Jim served on the faculty of the New York American Legion College as a department membership chairman, chairman of the Centennial Task Force for the Future, a consultant to the Americanism Committee, and as department commander in 2010-2011. At the national level, Jim has been a member of the Membership and Post Activities Committee, the Committee on Children and Youth, the Citizens Flag Alliance, and the National Security Commission. He has served as chairman of the Veterans Employment and Education Commission, and most recently, the Legislative Commission. Jim served as National Vice Commander in 2016-2017. Jim credits much of his success in the American Legion to those in his post who mentored and sponsored him. Jim has an even greater lifelong commitment in his wife of 48 years, Severia, with whom he has 2 wonderful daughters and 3 awesome grandchildren, all of whom are members of the American Legion family. Jim has served his family, his country, and the American Legion with honor, and now he will admirably serve as your American Legion National Commander with his theme of Be the One. As a duly registered delegate, I proudly second the nomination of Vincent James Jim Triola to be your next National Commander.
Continuing the roll call. Arizona.
Mr. Commander, Ben Hayden, delegate from Arizona. Mr. Commander, Arizona yields to California.
California.
Mr. Commander, Jerry Romano, delegate from California. Mr. Commander, I request that the chair recognize Autry James for the purpose of seconding the nomination for the high office of National Commander.
The chair recognizes Audrey James for purpose of seconding.
Good morning, everyone. National Commander Dillard, National Adjutant Wheeler, National Officers, past National Commanders, past delegates, members of the American Legion family, and guests to the 103rd National Convention. I'm Autry James from the Department of California, and it is my honor and privilege to stand before you and second the nomination of Vincent James Jim Triola from the great state of New York for the high office of National Commander of the American Legion. A year after graduating from high school in 1968, Jim followed his father's example of service and joined the United States Navy. Jim's father was a member of our greatest generation, serving in the military intelligence while in Germany during World War II. While in the Navy, Jim chose one of the oldest professions of the sea service, and he became a boatswain's mate. Jim served on board the USS Nitro in auxiliary ammunition ship and part of the United States Navy's 6th Fleet from 1970 to 1971. As a boatswain's mate,
Jim was one of the crew members at the operational core of the ship, ensuring the ship was ready to carry out all its missions, whether it was relocating ammunition from one station to another or the underway replenishment of other ships in the fleet. Jim left active service but continued to serve the nation as a naval reservist until 1974 when he was honorably discharged. As a boatswain's mate third class and began his post-career service. Jim proudly served this nation with honor and will proudly serve the American Legion as its next national commander. As a duly registered delegate to this 103rd National Convention, I proudly second the nomination of Vincent Jim Triola to be our next national commander.
call convention back to order. We'll call the convention back to order. The convention will come to order. All delegation chairs, please proceed to a floor microphone. The adjutant will continue the roll call. The adjutant will continue roll call until completed.
All right. Alpha. You're going to have a whole bunch of them coming this way.
Arkansas. Please proceed to microphone 1 or 2 when your delegation is called. Arkansas.
Mr. Chair, the great state of Arkansas delegation casts all of its delegate votes in seconding the nomination.
Colorado.
Mr. Chairman, Colorado casts all its delegate votes to Jim Triola.
Connecticut.
Mr. Chairman, delegation from the Department of Connecticut is honored to second the nomination for Jim I Got a Guy Triola for National Commander.
Delaware.
White Lacey, Delaware Delegation Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the Department of Delaware seconds the nomination of Vincent J. Triola from the Department of New York for the National Commander of the American Legion.
District of Columbia. District of Columbia. Florida.
Mr. Chairman, as a registered delegate for this convention, Florida cast 123 votes for Jim Triola.
France.
Mr. Adjutant, Joshua Stylick, Department of France, the birthplace of the American Legion, seconds the nomination to elect the leading candidate, Jim Trujillo, for National Commander.
Georgia.
This is Georgia. This is Randy Goodman, alternate NEC for the Department of Georgia. Cast all votes for Jim Triola.
Hawaii.
Fran Riddell, NEC, Department of Hawaii. Hawaii proudly casts all its votes for Jim Triola.
Idaho.
Jenny Cash, Delegate Chairman for the state of Idaho. We cast all our votes for Jim Triola.
Illinois.
On behalf of the Department of Illinois, as delegate chairman, we proudly support Jim Triola as our incoming national commander, and we proudly second that nomination also. Thank you.
Indiana.
James Dobby, Indiana delegation seconds the nomination for Jim Triola.
Iowa.
Bob Waugh, delegation chairman for Iowa. Iowa proudly seconds the motion for James Triola.
Kentucky.
David King, authorized delegate, Department of Kentucky, seconds the nomination for Jim Triola.
Louisiana.
Charlie Oquine, NEC from Louisiana, delegate to this convention, proudly seconds the nomination of Jim Triola for National Commander.
Maine.
Lloyd Woods, NEC, duly registered delegate for the Department of Maine. Maine casts all 23 votes for James Triola.
Maryland.
Ronald Holcomb from the great state of Maryland. We're casting our votes for Jim Triola.
Massachusetts.
Sally Nay, Department Commander, Delegate Chairman from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, home of past National Commander John P. J. Comer and Paul A. Morin, second the nomination of Vincent James Triola for National Commander.
Mexico.
Mike Wood, Mexico, casts all its votes for Vincent Triola.
Michigan.
My name is Richard Dubé, delegation chairman. Michigan supports the nomination for Jim.
Minnesota.
Tom Ferland, delegation chair for the Department of Minnesota. Minnesota proudly seconds the nomination for Vincent Triola for National Commander.
Mississippi.
Steve Sweet, Department Delegate from the Department of Mississippi, seconds the vote for Jim Triola.
Missouri.
Mr. Chairman, Gary Grigsby, the delegation chairman of the great state of Missouri, the home of the 33rd President of the United States, Harry S. Truman, cast all its votes for James Triola.
Montana.
Glenn Charbonneau, delegate chairman for the Big Sky state of Montana, cast all votes for Vincent James Triola.
Nebraska.
From the great state of Nebraska, we cast unanimously all our ballots for James Triola.
Nevada.
Mr. Chairman, Richard Eberly, chair, cast all votes for Jim Triola.
New Hampshire.
Mr. Chairman, Department Commander Charlie Iquo from the great Liberty and Die State, New Hampshire, we cast 21 votes for Vincent Jim Triola.
New Jersey.
Mr. Chairman, Department Delegate for New Jersey, seconds the nomination for Vincent Triola.
New Mexico.
Ed Cheatham, NEC, Department of New Mexico, cast all votes for Jim Triola.
North Carolina.
Jim Quinlan, delegation chairman from North Carolina and proud home of the American Legion World Series, seconds the nomination of Jim Triola.
North Dakota.
Mr. Chairman, Steve Anderson, North Dakota. We cast all votes for Jim Triola.
Ohio.
Adjutant Wheeler, Gene Wilson, delegation chairman for Ohio. We proudly cast all our votes for Jim Triola.
Oklahoma.
Mr. Chairman, Charles O'Leary from the Department of Oklahoma. We proudly cast all of our votes for Jim Triola.
Oregon.
Mr. Chairman, Don Weber, Delegate Chair for Department of Oregon, proud home of past National Commander
Charles Schmidt, we cast all of our votes for Jim Troiola.
Pennsylvania.
Frank Wilhelm, Delegation Chairman from this great state of Pennsylvania, cast all votes for Jim Troiola.
Philippines.
Mike Knapsey, NEC and Chairman, we cast all votes for Jim Troiola.
Puerto Rico.
Mr. Commander, Carmen Rosario, Chairman for the Delegation of Puerto Rico, we cast all votes for Vincent Jim Troiola for the highest office of National Commander.
Rhode Island.
Commander Dave Singleton, Commander, Department of Rhode Island, seconds the nomination of Jim Troiola.
South Carolina.
Mr. Chairman, Ron Price, Department Delegate for the Department of South Carolina. We second nomination for Vincent J. Jim Troiola.
South Dakota.
Fred Nelson, Department Chairman from South Dakota, home of Mount Rushmore and the birthplace of American Legion Baseball, proudly seconds the nomination of Jim Troiola to the high office of National Commander.
Tennessee.
Mr. Chairman, Lanny Culver, Commander, Department of Tennessee, seconds the motion for Jim Troiola for Commander.
Texas.
Mr. Commander, Brett Watson, the Delegate Chairman from the Lone Star State, where we know a guy and we support and cast all our votes for Jim Troiola.
Utah.
Mr. Chairman, Doug Case, great state of Utah, proudly cast all our votes for the one and only Jim Be the One Troiola.
Vermont.
Chairman, Catherine Tester from the great state of Vermont casts all our votes for Jim Troiola.
Virginia.
Frank Hilliard, Delegation Chairman, seconds the nomination.
Washington.
Rick Susi, Delegation Chair from the Evergreen State, Washington, seconds the nomination, Jim Troiola.
West Virginia.
Mr. Chairman, Tom Hicks from the great state of West by God, Virginia, proudly cast all our votes to Jim Troiola.
Wisconsin.
Department Commander Julie Muley, authorized delegate from Wisconsin, cast all votes for National Commander for James Troiola.
Wyoming.
Doug Johnson, duly authorized delegate from the great state of Wyoming, support and second the nomination of Vincent James Mr. Midge Troiola.
District of Columbia.
Father Rochelle Cotton, Commander and Delegation Chair, we support Vincent Jim Troiola.
Mr. Commander, there are no further nominations for the high office of National Commander.
I now recognize from the floor, microphone 1.
Mr. Commander, Gene Wilson, delegate from Ohio. Mr. Commander, I move we suspend the rules of this convention pertaining to the election of the National Commander and the national nomination and election of the National Vice Commanders, which rules shall be reinstated at the conclusion of the election for National Vice Commanders.
There is a motion before us to suspend the rules of this convention pertaining to the election of National Commander and the nomination and election of National Vice Commanders, which rules shall be automatically reinstated at the conclusion of the election of National Vice Commander. Is there a second? Hearing a second, this motion is non-debatable and requires 2/3 votes. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nays. Ayes carried. I now recognize from the floor microphone 2.
Mr. Commander, Betty Fish Ferguson, a delegate from the great state of Oregon. Mr. Commander, I move that the nominations for the office of National Commander be closed.
We have a motion that nominations for the office of National Commander be closed. Is there a second? Hearing a second, the motion to close the nomination is non-debatable and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, nays. Carried. I now recognize from the floor microphone 1.
Mr. Commander, Pam Krill, delegate from Minnesota. Mr. Commander, I move that the National Adjutant be authorized to cast 1 vote representing the entire strength of this convention, and that Vincent James Jim Triola be elected National Commander by acclamation.
Is there a second? Hearing a second, there is a motion before us that the National Adjutant be authorized to cast 1 vote representing the entire delegate strength of this convention, and Vincent J. Triola be elected National Commander by acclamation. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Carried. I now call on the National Adjutant.
As National Adjutant, I cast 1 vote representing the entire delegate strength of this convention for the election of Vincent James Triola as the National Commander of the American Legion.
Will the Sergeant at Arms assist the new National Commander of the American Legion to the platform? He will be escorted to the stage by Department of New York NECman W. Michael Bowen and New York Master at Arms Richard Cabot. Leading the way is the Clarkstown, New York Police Honor Guard. The chair recognizes past National Commander Jake Homer for the purposes of administering the oath of office to the new National Commander of the American Legion.
Commander Jim, what an honor it is for me to be here at this time to present your oath of office. You'll raise your right hand and repeat after me, giving your name, where I give mine. I, John P. J. Cohen,
I, Vincent James Triola,
do solemnly pledge myself
do solemnly pledge myself
to perform faithfully and impartially
to perform faithfully and impartially
the duties of the office of the National Commander of the American Legion.
the duties of the office of the National Commander of the American Legion.
I further pledge
I further pledge
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution and bylaws of the American Legion.
and the Constitution and bylaws of the American Legion.
I do not subscribe to the principles of any group
I do not subscribe to the principles of any group
opposed to our form of government.
opposed to our form of government.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Commander, congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
You did it.
I did it.
No more Zoom meetings.
Want to have one tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022-2023 National Commander of the American Legion, Vincent J. Jim Triola.
Hi, I'm Jim Triola. I'm running for the best job in the American Legion. I'm the leading candidate for National Commander, and I'm looking forward to serving with honor. My father was a World War II vet. He served in military intelligence, and he met my mother over there. She was a war bride. She was from Manchester, England. It's a great story. He was one of those immigrants that came here and worked from the bottom up. He built a house on his own. You know, he GC'd the thing, but it was our house. Before you know it, he was building houses on spec, and he became a pretty reputable builder. What he put out there to take care of his family, you learn a lesson from that, you know. Learn how to handle money, you learn how to discipline yourself, and I guess part of where I am today is because of him. There's no doubt about it. Before I went into service, I was 17, 18 years old. I went over to the local Chevrolet dealer and I said, looking for a job, anything I could do. They brought me inside. I was selling parts at the counter, giving technicians parts. And then the draft was out then for the Vietnam War, and the lottery numbers were coming out. Figured I'd like to go to sea, you know, and in those days it was, you know, join the Navy, see the world, and they were right, because I did see the world. So I joined. I was actually stationed pretty close to my house the first 7 or 8 months, I guess. And then I got my orders, I guess, in November of '69 to report to duty in Davisville, Rhode Island at USS Nitro, which is an ammunition auxiliary ship. Those ships replenish other ships at sea with ammo. But that was a ship where you worked your butt off. It was, you know, a ship could come alongside you, an aircraft carrier, whatever it was, you were sending bombs and missiles over to. Could have been 3 o'clock in the morning, just, here they come. Get ready for them, you know. So I get out of the service, and I'm sitting at the bar, I'm having a beer, and all of a sudden, that little tap on my shoulder. And I turned around, it's this girl, and she goes, want to dance? Today she'll tell you she never did that, but she did.
Yeah, I picked him up at the Hamptons, so there we go.
When I first met her, she didn't even tell me her real name. She told me her name was Sally. So I called up her house one day, and there's Sally there, and her sister answers the phone and says, we don't have a Sally here. And I hear in the background, wait.
Then he comes to the house, and you open up the little keyhole thing to look out to see who's there. But of course, he's being so tall, you can't see him. Only see his chest, you know, and they're like, you know, so he's a very tall guy. but very approachable, you know, and lots of fun.
You got me? I wasn't asked to join the American Legion. So I was involved in things at my kids' school, the elementary school. And naturally, when you meet people in the, people that same age group as you, and the kids are the same age group, you become friends. And one day, a guy said to me, "Hey," he says, "we belong to this organization down in New City. It's the Sons of the American Legion." He says, "Why don't you come down there? We're going to have a meeting on Monday night," whatever it was. And I went down. I'm a member there for about 6 months. And one day, we're up here having a formal meeting, and I'm walking down the stairs. And the post commander comes up to me, who I didn't know, post commander from anything. I don't know what the American Legion was at the time. And he said, "Hey, aren't you a veteran?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "What are you doing in the Sons of the American Legion?" I said, "Well, I was asked to join. I joined, got involved." Join the American Legion. He says, "We do a lot of good things around here." And then about, I guess, 6 months later, they walked up to me and they asked me, they said, "You look like a pretty sharp guy. We got a job for you. You're interested in taking a job? You want to volunteer?" And I said, "I don't know. I got the kids, we got a lot of stuff going on." He goes, "Nothing big." I said, "What is it?" He goes, "Second vice commander." And before you know it, I think I joined in 1993, 1997. I was the post commander here. It was absolutely amazing. The first time that I actually got, I guess, excited in the American Legion, you would think would be the Veterans Affairs or something like that, but it really wasn't that. I was very heavily involved in the early days in the oratorical contest. I don't know about you guys, but I get emotional when I watch these youngsters doing what they do with such courage. And I stand there, talk from 8 to 10 minutes from memory. It just blows my mind that they would even sign up for something like that, because that's a tough thing to do. When I went to the county, I said, I kept talking about it, and about a year later, they asked me if I want to become county oratorical chairman, and that's when I really started getting involved. The children and youth programs we have, absolutely, to me, is the best thing we can do. We do a lot for veterans, and I'm not discounting that, but it's the future of our nation, really. I moved to Maine actually when I was still working. I was staying in a hotel 4 days a week and commuting on weekends, and that was getting pretty tiresome. And then, so I retired in February 17. I was sitting home. They didn't have much to do around the house because the house is a brand new house. There's nothing really to do. Everybody's hiring school buses, so it wasn't hard to find a job. So I decided to go near my daughter's house and go in her school system. It's a very intense job, and it's you got a lot of responsibility. Precious cargo, they call it. My favorite 2 words, sit down. Sit down. Sit down back there. Stop putting your hands outside the window. The first thing a student sees in the morning is the bus driver, so that's how they start their days. If the bus driver's grouchy, they're going to be grouchy. If the bus driver's happy-go-lucky, generally they'll get into school and they'll be like that,
It's been really awesome to have him as Abby's bus driver, and he gets to know all the kids and jokes with them and plays music on the bus. And when he's here with the girls, they're always so excited to see him, like, "Pop-Pop is here!" And oh, he's an awesome grandfather. I think everyone wishes they had a Pop-Pop, right?
Love those kids to death. It's my whole life. It's great. And out of anything negative, out of the National Commander thing, I'm going to miss those kids. So, I think we all know belonging to Legion posts, nobody gets anything done by themselves. There's no room for that. And I think that when you give people the opportunity to work together, it creates motivation, it inspires people, and when they see the results, they get excited. And I think that's why in my VETS acronym you have teamwork, because teamwork is a key to our success in our programs.
Good morning, American Legion family.
Thank you so much for putting me here. It's been a long journey. Can't wait to get to work and hit the road. Delegates and alternates, thank you for entrusting me for the high office of National Commander of the American Legion. I look forward to serving together as part of the American Legion family. Before I begin my remarks, I would like you to make some introductions to all of you. First, my family. My wife, Severia, please stand, Severia, an American Legion Auxiliary member who picked up the nickname from a friend of mine in Delaware of Saint Savvy. Hanging out with me is a bad thing. She has been by my side during my entire Legion career, supporting me, providing advice, and putting up with times away from home. I love you. My youngest daughter, Jeanette, also here today, please stand, Jeanette, also an American Legion Auxiliary member, who also is a staunch supporter of what I do for the American Legion and in my professional career. I thank you so much for being here. And then there's the little one, Abigail, who put my cap on today, also an American Legion Auxiliary Junior, who I enjoy so much. Watching her grow to where she is today is so special to me. She was so proud to find out she would be coming here to place the red cap on my head. She told all her friends she was going to be famous, and she is. My daughter Laura, who is home, is Abby's mom, was unable to attend today. A last-minute schedule change of the caregiver who was going to stay with my grandson Alex. My youngest granddaughter Natalia, 2 years old, jealous sister of Abby, who jumps on my lap when Abby is with me and yells, "Pop, pop, mine." She owns me. And my brother Raymond, who is supposed to come today, is unable to be with us. He's got some medical issues with AFib. My sister Debbie, who passed away in the early days of the pandemic, I wish you were here to celebrate. Also with us today, standing behind me, are the Clarkstown Police Honor Guard from the home of my post-town, New City, New York. They are led by the Chief of Police, Jeff Wanamaker. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here. This is the second time they have led me up the aisle and took the stage. They were present during my election as New York Department Commander. Thanks to all of you for attending and being part of this momentous part of my life. My campaign committee. I want to mention a few by name. If I miss anybody, I am so sorry, but where is Jim Yermis and Don Zarecki? Behind us? You've all gone to those hospitality rooms in the fall and the spring meetings. Those are the two that got that thing going. They did a fantastic job. I'm so proud of them. My campaign committee, who worked tirelessly to get me here on stage. The committee did such a great job of working together as a cohesive unit, regardless of what the task was. I will never forget any of you. Can the campaign committee please stand and be recognized? I'll go back there. In particular, Reen Van Meulen, who kicked off my campaign in its early stages and did a magnificent job. Mike Burns, who stepped in voluntarily as the campaign chair and has worked tirelessly with all of the moving parts. Both of them deserve a heartfelt thank you. And as a side note, Mike Burns will be my National Sergeant at Arms. Gary Shacker, who is my aide, acted out his new position during the whole campaign. There are many things I could have not accomplished without his help and friendship. Gary, thank you so much. And if I could get the past national commanders to please stand and be recognized. It is all of you that have given me advice and support during the past 2 years, and I thank you so much. And also to the past national commanders' spouses. Please stand and be recognized. I want to thank you so much for offering advice and support to my wife, who desperately needed that help. Thank you. The entire New York delegation, led by past Department Commander and Delegation Chairman Frank LaMarche and current Department Commander David Riley, please stand and be recognized. You can't even see them from here. This outstanding group of people, including the New York American Legion Auxiliary, the Sons of the American Legion, the American Legion Riders, left me quite emotional during the year with their unwavering support. For those who nominated me, past National Commander Fang Wang, Dan Wiley, and Autry James, thank you very much. Thank you to past National Commander Comer for installing me. The oath of this office is solemn to me, and I will commit myself to live up to it every day. I am grateful for National Commander Paul Dillard's strong leadership and advocacy for veterans during this past year. National Adjutant Dan Wheeler, thank you for all the orientation, training, and guidance you have provided in order to prepare me for this honor. I would be in deep trouble if I didn't recognize this next individual. He's a longtime friend, confidant, and ear to listen to me on rants, requests for advice, mentor, and just a good guy. His Department of New York Adjutant, Jim Casey. And then there is my post, those members who saw something in me 30 years ago. I was recruited to join the Sons of the American Legion Squadron 30 years ago by a very good friend of mine, William McLaughlin. I met him through the school where my oldest daughter attended with his daughter. He convinced me to join and showed me how the squadron was a viable member of the community. I am forever grateful to him for starting me on this journey to the top. Then there was Anthony Lamagna, who at the time was the post commander, who heard that I was a veteran and recruited me into the Legion. It was there where I realized what the American Legion stood for, and I started to get involved. There were so many Legionnaires during the early days through today that took me under their wings and guided me through the programs. Just to name a few, Dennis Kellerman, William T. Mahan, who is very sick at home, David Elmendorf, Paul Wilkins, Ed Doherty, and Ed Hughes. They will always remain dear to my heart when I reminisce about my Legion career. Our family members in the American Legion Auxiliary, Sons of the American Legion, just elected two highly capable leaders in President Vicky Kautz and Commander Chris Carlton. I congratulate them both and look forward to working with them in the year ahead. I especially want to offer my deepest sympathy and condolences to the family, friends, and American Legion family of the Department of Kentucky for the loss of a friend and candidate for National Commander, Randall Fisher. I know that all of you in the audience that knew Randy miss him dearly. Thanks to all the departments, whether I visited you or not, for supporting me. We are witnessing a movement in the American Legion. All of you are part of the exciting times now and will ride into the future. I am highly encouraged to see signs of growth in the American Legion. We did lose some members compared to the previous year, but significantly lower. This is a direct result of Commander Dillard's membership plan. I know that encouragement will continue as I continue the membership plan that Commander Dillard engineered. The momentum from his plan shows in the numbers, and I truly believe, based on what I see in the numbers, what I hear in the departments, and what I witness in the posts that I visit, that this could be the year we end the slide. Posts that achieve 90% retention in this membership year will receive a special National Commander's pin with my theme Vets engraved. Posts with 95% will receive a Vets coin. You will see the Vets acronym a lot this year. It stands for Veterans, Education, Teamwork, and Sponsor. It's how we build a stronger and larger American Legion. Membership excellence pins with Vets will go to posts that recruit 5 members from the expired rosters. If post excellence is achieved, the post will also receive an autographed National Commander's license plate. All of these awards are in addition to Commander Dillard's program, so I don't want it to get mixed up with the other ones. All departments will receive an additional numbered Vets coin to be given to a Legionnaire of their choice who has gone above and beyond for membership. The American Legion is asking you to be the one. And by you, I include every one of us, military and civilian alike. We all need to be the one to begin thinking, talking, and acting to save just one life. The Be the One campaign will destigmatize asking for mental health support, provide peer-to-peer support and resources in local communities, create safe places for veterans to be open about their struggles, encourage every American, veteran and civilians alike, to take the pledge to be the one to help end veteran suicide. As the military changes, and as military issues change, so does the American Legion. While the Legion continues to celebrate its past, it does so while also marching towards an evolving future, discovering ways to stay relevant and add even greater value to the lives of younger veterans. One thing that hasn't changed is the Legion's dedication to addressing the toughest challenges facing veterans and their families. Veteran suicide may be the biggest challenge yet, but anyone can be the one to save just one veteran. We had just come out of an unprecedented time in our lives. We had our lives completely turned upside down during the pandemic. We were forced to lock down in our homes because of the uncertainty of medical experts on the expected outcome of this devastating pandemic. The pandemic also created different ways of living our lives, keeping our health in mind. Schools and public facilities were and still are in lockdown to visitors. That change affected the Legion family in a big way. Many Legion posts throughout the country were forced to close their post homes and had no access to their meeting places. Many of our Legion posts that were able adapted and found ways to support their communities who needed help to get through the issues that arose from the pandemic. We may have survived the coronavirus, but many of our youth programs have suffered in diminishing numbers for a variety of reasons. School shootings and increased security have given authorities good reason to restrict some of the access. Change will be a big part of our lives, but healthy organizations adapt to the times and move forward. Through innovative strategies and greater flexibility, we can grow the numbers to pre-pandemic levels. It is up to all of us to find ways to contact school officials and let them know about our programs. The best advertisement for our programs is through the students that have attended, but with the pandemic, that method of communication has diminished. One thing is for sure, Zoom and Teams has not gone away and is being utilized all over the country. I know the school district that I work in meets virtually still till today. PTOs, PTAs, organizations, school board meetings, most of them take place virtually. That sounds like the communication place to start right now. I would like to also recognize Commander Dillard for launching our legislative advocacy to new heights at a time our veterans need it the most. This spring, he toured 7 states, from Alaska to Georgia, urging Legionnaires to join in the fight for passage of the Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson honoring our PACT Act. And Legionnaires responded in kind. When it seemed the PACT Act was going to fall victim to partisan discord just a few weeks ago, Legionnaires sent over 34,000 members to senators calling on them to cut through the nonsense and pass the bill. It had the intended effect, and a few weeks later, Commander Dillard was at the White House for the signing of the PACT Act. For some members of Congress, this may have been the first time seeing the full effect and unity of our voices, but this will not be the last. We must take the spirit and message of the Be the One campaign and pass comprehensive mental health care legislation for veterans, including establishing a National Buddy Check Week. To do this requires modernizing VA facilities that are more than 50 years old on average. We must never forget that suicide continues to be a problem in the active duty ranks as well. Every Legion post located near a military base should provide a welcoming environment to those still serving. While we will always stand strong against illegal immigration, we must honor immigrants who have worn the uniform of the United States military. They took an oath to die for this country if called upon. Those who serve honorably should receive their citizenship before leaving active duty. Veterans and spouses who have not committed serious felonies should not be deported. Finally, with the recent one-year anniversary of our withdrawal from Afghanistan, we must remind Congress that America always stands by its allies for freedom. Bipartisan support exists today to codify the safety of our evacuated Afghan allies. It is imperative that we offer them immediate passage to the United States. On these issues and more, we must carry the burden of leadership as America's largest veterans organization and most powerful voice for veterans, national security, and 100% Americanism. I ask that you join me in this fight. In closing, I would look forward to visiting the American Legion family throughout the year of my travels. I will hit the ground running to work with you to having a productive, successful, and fun-filled year. Remember, we are the American Legion, the voice of the veterans since 1919. As long as America has veterans, there will always be an American Legion. May God continue to bless all of you, our service members, and the American Legion family. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a point of personal privilege, I would like to call on Barbara Wong, wife of past National Commander Fang Wong, for a presentation by the first spouses to the new First Lady of the American Legion.
Severia, please come forward to the lectern. On behalf of all the former First Ladies and the former First Gentleman, I welcome you to be the newest First Lady of the American Legion and present you with this pin to wish you and Commander Jim a very happy very successful year and very healthy life, always.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barbara. I now recognize microphone 2.
Mr. Commander, Courtney Steffen, delegate from South Dakota. Mr. Commander, since the rules of this convention have been suspended, I move that nominations for the office of National Vice Commander be made from the floor of this convention.
There is a motion before us that the nominations for the office of National Vice Commander be made from the floor. Is there a second? Hearing a second, the motion is non-debatable and requires 2/3 vote. All those in favor sign by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. We will now entertain nominations for the office of National Vice Commander from the floor. I recognize microphone 1.
Mr. Commander, James Dobby, Delegate and Chairman for the delegation from Indiana, home of the American Legion National Headquarters, the new National Auxiliary President, Vicki Couts, the new National Sons of the American Legion Commander, Chris Carlton. Mr. Commander, I request that you recognize past National Commander James Couts for the purpose of a nomination for the office of National Vice Commander.
The chair recognizes past National Commander James Couts.
National Commander Dillard, national officers, past national commanders, delegates, alternates, and guests to this 103rd National Convention. It is a privilege for me to rise in support of the election of Indiana's own Kenneth Hilton for the high office of National Vice Commander. The office of National Vice Commander is not an afterthought or a consolation prize. It is a key position to our organization's operation structure, and it takes a special legionnaire to fill that role. I am confident that Ken Hilton will bring to the office of Vice Commander the experience, the knowledge, and the commitment required for success in this office. I know that because Ken Hilton and the more than 400,000 veterans of Indiana and the millions who call Indiana home. Following his 33-year career in the United States Postal Service, he became a county service officer, a role which he fulfilled with distinction for more than a decade, and most recently was appointed by the governor of Indiana to serve as a member of the Indiana Veterans Affairs Commission. After serving our country in the United States Army from 1970 to 1973, Ken began his American Legion career where all successful legionnaires do, at the post level, where he served and continues to serve in a variety of offices. As a member of St. Joseph's American Legion Post 464 at Brookville, Indiana, Ken remains a part of the post leadership team that helped lead his post to 73 continuous years all-time memberships, a record still unbeaten in Indiana. He went on to serve his district as commander, followed by a variety of officers supporting those who came after him. He is well prepared then to serve as department commander and did so in 2014-15 after serving the department's Southern Vice Commander and chairing all 4 major commissions. With the wealth of experience behind him, he brought his knowledge and wisdom to bear on Department Commander, my future by serving a member of the Strategic Planning Commission. My fellow Legionnaires, I am confident that the American Legion will likewise benefit from the knowledge and experience that Ken Hilton will bring to bear on his new responsibilities. The Department of Indiana is proud to add his name to the long list of Hoosier American Legion family members who have been entrusted with national leadership, both past and future. I, James E. Couts, a delegate of the National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, for this 103rd National Convention, place the nomination of Ken Hilton as National Vice Commander for the years of 22-23. Thank you.
I recognize microphone 2.
Mr. Commander, David Shore, delegate from North Carolina. Mr. Commander, I request that you recognize Richard Neville for the purpose of a nomination for the office of National Vice Commander.
Chair recognizes Richard Neville.
Patricia Harris followed in her father's footsteps, a U.S. Army Corporal, John L. Ellison, Jr., a World War II veteran. She joined the United States Army She served with her late husband, Walter Harris, at Fort Hood, Texas, attached to the 57th Signal Brigade, 3rd Corps. Both were deployed to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Iraq. It has been my pleasure to witness a young veteran becoming involved in the American Legion. Patricia has been 2nd Vice Commander, 1st Vice Commander, and then Commander of her home post, 157 in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've always been impressed with her winning smile, her ability to encourage others to become involved in the American Legion. She got involved at the district level, becoming chaplain, vice commander, and then district commander. She was elected department vice commander and then was the first Afro-American and the first woman to ever be elected department commander for the Department of North Carolina. She has served on many committees with the post level, district, and department level. At the department level, she has served on the resolutions, membership, legislative, leadership and development, Constitution and bylaws, and internal affairs, and has been serving as chairman of internal affairs since 2017 through the present. At the national level, she has served on VA&R, Children and Youth, Legislative Council, National Internal Affairs, and she is also a National Legion College graduate from the year 2007. Patricia also involved with her community. She started the Women's Veteran Support Incorporation and has served as the CEO from 2007 through the present. She serves on the North Carolina Military Affairs Commission, is a member of VFW Post 1088, DEVA Chapter 1, 20 and 4 legislations, Kappa Espezas Praetor Sorority, and she was awarded the Order of Longleaf Pine, awarded by Governor Pat McCoy. This is the highest civilian order or honor given to a resident who has provided exemplary service to the state of North Carolina. As you've just heard, she is well qualified for the position I'm about to nominate. I, Richard Neville, a duly elected delegate to this 103rd American Legion National Convention, have the honor and pleasure of placing a nomination for the high office of National Vice Commander for the years 2022-2023, Patricia Ayer Harris.
The chair now recognizes microphone 1.
Mr. Commander, Steve Anderson, delegate of the great state of North Dakota. Commander, I request that you recognize past National Vice Commander Wayne Setram for the purpose of a nomination for the office of National Vice Commander.
Chair recognizes past National Vice Commander Wayne Setram.
I'm Wayne D. Satrum, past National Vice Commander for the American Legion and delegate from North Dakota. And first, before I start this, I want to welcome Glenn Wahoo's his wife, Tina, his son, Zach, 2 of his sisters, and her brother-in-law here to the 103 convention. Welcome. It is truly an honor for me to nominate Glenn Wahoo's for National Vice Commander of the American Legion for 2022-2023. Glenn Wahoo's is a 32-year member of the American Legion, Carl E. Rogan Post 29 in Watford City, North Dakota. Wahoo served in the United States Navy as a hull maintenance technician from 1983 to 1987. Reaching the rank of Petty Officer 2nd Class, and was honorably discharged in 1987. Wahoo served as Department of North Dakota Commander 2018-2019. He has served on several posts in department and national committees. Most recently, he has served as chairman of the North Dakota VA&R. He has been instrumental in bringing back the Courage Carries On program to the North Dakota Department and community to bring about suicide awareness and prevention to veterans, children, and youth. He has served on a VA&R National Committee and Commission from 2015 to 2022. Wahoo's was picked by Governor Doug Burgum to serve on the North Dakota's Administrative Committee on Veterans Affairs. He is a 2015 graduate of the National American Legion College. Glenn has been instrumental in forming the North Dakota American Legion College. He has been married to Tina for 29 years. Together they have 2 sons, James and Zach. Wahoo is retired from the oil fields and keeps himself busy gardening, woodworking, and helping others through the American Legion. And like I said, it's my honor to nominate Glenn Wahoos for National Vice Commander. Thank you.
Recognize microphone 2.
Mr. Commander, Fred Wilhelm, delegate from Pennsylvania. Mr. Commander, I request that you recognize Michael Murphy for the purpose of a nomination for the office of National Vice Commander.
The chairman recognizes Michael Murphy for the purpose of nomination for National Vice Commander.
Commander Dillard, my fellow delegates of this 103rd National Convention of our American Legion. My name is Michael Murphy, and I am the past Department Commander of Pennsylvania, the largest department in our American Legion. I am here today to nominate a man who has given so much to our country and to the American Legion. He joined the United States Army in March of 1968 and served 4 years. He was sent to Okinawa, where he took ARVN training, and then was sent into Vietnam, where he served for the next 18 months. He was honorably discharged from the Army in June of 1972. He then joined the Pennsylvania National Guard, and for the next 26 years, he served with honor and distinction, winning the coveted Combat Rifle Governor's 20 Award and the Bronze Order of Mercury. He retired from the National Guard in 1998. He also served on the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency Network Commission. After retiring from the National Guard, he still wasn't satisfied, so he joined the Army Reserve. He was then called to active duty to serve in Iraq in 2002, 2003, and again 2006, 2007, and a third time in 2008. He was awarded the Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star Medal, a Joint Task Force Award with V-Device, and he was discharged from the Army Reserve in September of 2008 with a total of 40 years of active military service as a Chief Warrant Officer 4. While doing all of this military service, he also found time to serve the Pennsylvania American Legion. He served as post commander of his post in Pittsburgh, post number 80, senior junior vice commander, of course, finance officer, post adjutant, and service officer, and the membership chairman. In Pennsylvania's 32nd District, he served as a district commander 2010-2012, the district adjutant, district SA chairman, the district membership chairman, and he continued his dedication to the American Legion, serving as our Western Section adjutant in 2012-2013. The Western Vice Commander, he was elected in 2013-2014. Not only did he serve our department as a commander in 2017 and 18, he also served on the many committees as chairman, Resolution Committee, SA Committee, Community Service, Membership Committee, and is currently our alternate National Executive Committeeman. Nationally, he served on the Magazine Commission and the VA&R Committee. Not only is he a life member of the American Legion, he is also a life member of the Disabled American Veterans, the VFW, the Warrant Officers Association, Military Officers Association, and a member of the Society of 40 and 8. He is married to his loving wife, Mary, for the past 45 years. They have 3 children, Tracy, Michael, and Melinda. They also have 3 granddaughters, Kayla, Krista, and Cassidy. As a duly elected delegate of this convention, my fellow Legionnaires, I have the distinct honor and privilege to place into nomination the name of Paul M. Kennedy from the Department of Pennsylvania as a candidate for National Vice Commander of the American Legion. Thank you.
Call on microphone 1.
Mr. Commander, Mike Hobbs, delegate from Wyoming. Mr. Commander, I request that you recognize Keith Davidson for the purpose of the nomination for the office of National Vice Commander.
The chair recognizes Keith Davidson for the purpose of nomination for National Vice Commander.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Keith Davidson. I'm the NEC from Wyoming. On the behalf of the great state of Wyoming, it's my privilege to nominate Doug Uhrig for the high office of National Vice Commander. While still in high school, Doug enlisted in the U.S. Army on the delayed enlistment program. Soon after graduation in 1971, he found himself in Fort Lewis for basic training, then on to Fort Knox for recon training, advanced individual training next. Next was airborne school at Fort Benning, and off to Germany to the 8th ID, where he became the RTO for anti-tank platoon, 101st Battalion, 509th Airborne Infantry. There for 18 months, along with all required training, Doug was one of the selected few to attend German Airborne School and a Mountaineer School. He also trained with the British and was one of a handful chosen to parachute into Eindhoven, Holland to commemorate the 27th anniversary of the 101st Parachute Assault during World War II. In 1973, Doug was selected to the new unique 1,000-man Rapid Response Unit, the 509th Airborne Battalion Command Team, staged in northern Italy. He spent a year with the unit until ending his service with the military in 1974. Following regular service, he was a South Dakota Air National Guard for 4 years. Doug comes from a family rich in military service. His great-grandfather was a Civil War veteran. His grandfather was a His grandfather was a World War I veteran. Doug's dad and 4 of his uncles, and on his dad's side, and 2 of his uncles on his mother's side also served in World War II. Doug, along with several of his cousins, served during the Vietnam era. Doug has been a member of the Rock Springs Post 24 since 1986. Shortly after joining the post, he became a paid-up-for-life member. In addition to Doug, his wife, his sons and daughters and grandsons are also members of the Legion family at Post 24. By 2005, he had served twice as Post Commander, District Commander in 2007, and Department Commander in 2013-14. Doug has served on all department committees over the years. At the national level of the American Legion, Doug has served on the Americanism Commission from 2013 to 2020, alternate National Executive Committeeman 18 to 20, National Executive Committee 2021. He was the VA&R NEC liaison for the 2021 year and is now on the VA&R Council for 21-22. Doug was appointed by Governor Matt Mead in 2013 to be the representative for the 3rd Judicial District, serving 6 years, 3 years as a parliamentarian. Doug was in the chairs to become the chairman of the Wyoming Veterans Commission. He chose not to reapply for a second appointment and turn all of his attention to the American Legion. Doug has received many honors over the years, but one of the highest honors any Legionnaire can receive is to be selected by your peers as the Department Legionnaire of the Year, which Doug was selected in 2017 as Wyoming's Department Legionnaire of the Year. As a duly elected delegate to the 103rd National Convention of the American Legion, I nominate Doug Uhrig for the high office of National Vice Commander. Thank you.
I now recognize microphone 2.
Mr. Commander, Amy Hughes, delegate from Iowa. Mr. Commander, I move that nominations for the office of National Vice Commander be closed.
We have a motion that nominations for the office of National Vice Commander be closed. Is there a second? Hearing a second, the motion is non-debatable and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Carried. The chair recognizes microphone 1.
Mr. Commander, Roy Weber, delegate, Department of Illinois. As Mr. Commander, I move that the National Adjutant be authorized to cast 1 vote 5 times for the entire delegate strength of this convention, and that the 5 candidates, Ken Hilton, Patricia Harris, Glenn Wahoos, Paul Kennedy, and Doug Uhrig, be elected National Vice Commanders by acclamation.
We have a motion that the National Adjutant be authorized to cast 1 vote 5 times for the entire delegate strength of this convention, and the nominated 5 candidates, Kenneth C. Hilton, Patricia A. Harris, Glenn Wahoos, Paul M. Kennedy, and Douglas Uhrig, be elected National Vice Commanders by acclamation. I heard a second. Hearing a second, the motion is non-debatable and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. I now call on the National Adjutant.
Mr. Commander, as National Adjutant of the American Legion, I cast 1 vote 5 times, with each representing the entire delegate strength of this convention for Kenneth C. Hilton, Patricia A. Harris, Glenn Wahoos, Paul M. Kennedy, and Douglas R. Uhrig for the offices of National Vice Commander of the American Legion.
I now declare Kenneth C. Hilton, Patricia A. Harris, Glenn Wahoos, Paul M. Kennedy, and Douglas R. Uhrig as elected National Vice Commanders of the American Legion. Will the new National Vice Commanders come to the platform to be introduced and sworn in? At this time, I am honored to swear you into your newly elected office as a National Vice Commander. I know you will uphold the trust that has been placed in you by the comrades who nominated and supported you and the convention delegates that elected you. I trust you will fulfill every obligation required of you. I challenge you to familiarize yourself with the duties of your office and carry them out with the same spirit from which the American Legion was founded. The welfare, success, and integrity of this great organization depends on you. As you travel in the departments and throughout this country promoting the mandates of the American Legion as approved by the National Convention and the National Executive Committee. It is your duty to protect the good name of the American Legion with the people of our great nation that you meet as you travel. Help them to know the Legion's purposes and policies. Remember the 4 pillars that motivate us as members to serve this nation. As you serve, always remember there's no rank, for we all serve as equals. We all are aiming for the same goals, the ideals of justice, freedom, democracy, and loyalty. This means you should always employ the cardinal principles of the American Legion to all those that we serve. The rehabilitation of all disabled veterans and the care of those who are now suffering from wounds, disease, and want to include the care of their family members. The education of our children, educating citizens of the ideas of true Americanism, maintaining a strong national defense. In your travels representing the American Legion, always practice these 4 pillars in your promotion of service to the community, state, and nation. Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Paul Dillard, do solemnly pledge myself to perform faithfully and impartially the duties of the office of the American Legion I am about to assume. And I further pledge I will uphold the principles outlined in the National Constitution and the preamble of the American Legion in service to our veterans and their families, state and nation. Congratulations, Vice Commander. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your newly 5 elected National Vice Commanders, and I declare Vincent J. Jim Triola elected National Commander of the American Legion. I now call on past National Commander Jimmy Foster to present the colors to our incoming National Commander.
Thank you, Mr. Commander. Commander-elect Triola, please join me here at the lectern. Ladies, gentlemen, Legionnaires, and distinguished guests, please rise for the presentation of our national colors by the Newport Harbor Post 291, Department of California, to the National Commander-elect. Color Guard, present the colors of the National Commander of the American Legion.
Color Guard, forward, march.
And salute.
Ready, base, present, colors.
Two.
National Commander Vincent J. James Jim Triola. You are the second of my 55 department commanders to become National Commander. You stand before this convention having received a unanimous vote of confidence in your ability to represent not only Legionnaires, but also all veterans in the coming months. As a veteran, I know that you are up to the challenge. You have served the American Legion in numerous capacities over many years. You have the experience and knowledge of the American Legion. I know, and the delegates here in this attendance know, you are the right leader to carry our organization forward in the coming year. You served the country as a Navy veteran, and you served your community, which entrusted you with the safety of their children as you drove their school buses. Now you get to serve as a leader of veterans. Your election was earned through hard work and service, just like your predecessors. May the colors that we present to you be a source of inspiration and pride. National Commander Triola, I want to say God bless to you and our American Legion as you lead all of us in this coming year. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hand salute. Color Guard, return the colors, retire the colors of the National Commander.
Color Guard, forward, march.
Two.
Congratulations,
Thank
buddy.
you so much. Thank you.
This is an exciting time for any national convention. We have elected a new national commander and look forward to a new chapter and historic time as our leader commits to be the one. This is also the time when the American Legion Auxiliary elects a new president. The woman chosen to lead the American Legion Auxiliary has worked many years for veterans and their families. She served as the organization's national vice president and has been a member of American Legion Auxiliary Unit 200 in Boonville, Indiana. Eligible for auxiliary membership through her Vietnam veteran husband, past National Commander Jim Couch. She has worked as a legal assistant for Fox and Luke's attorneys at law. She has served in numerous offices at the unit, district, department, and national levels. She was gracious American Legion First Lady and will be an outstanding national president. Please give a warm welcome to the national president of the American Legion Auxiliary, Vicki Couch.
Thank you. National Commander Jim, that kind of has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Before I met you, I had envisioned this very quiet, subdued gentleman. But now that I've been around you more, was I ever wrong? You are funny and witty, and really not quite sure how Severia keeps up with your antics. I feel so blessed to be working together with you this year as a team, at all levels, as we travel all over this nation, meeting our American Legion family members from all walks of life. I know that you will lead this organization with pride, and you will stand very tall when advocating for our veterans, military, and their families. I wish you great success and pray for your health and safety on your travels. Congratulations and good luck.
The man chosen to lead the Sons of the American Legion is eligible through his grandfather's World War II service and the service as his Vietnam-era father. A journeyman sheet metal worker, he is a mechanical team lead and certified welder inspector in Altic Industries. He is a member of Leo F. Welch Jr. Squadron 495 in Indianapolis, and has served in offices at every level of the Sons of the American Legion. His wife is a 35-year member of the American Legion Auxiliary and is a registered nurse at VA Hospital in Indianapolis. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the National Commander of the Sons of the American Legion, Christopher Carlton.
National Commander, National Adjutant, National Vice Commanders, past National Commanders, delegates, distinguished guests, and all the members of the American Legion family. On behalf of the 361,000 plus members of the Sons of the American Legion, I bring you greetings and congratulations, Commander Triola. This will be an exciting year as, at the end of our preamble, we state to adopt in letter and spirit all the great principles for which the American Legion stands and to assist in carrying on for God and country. Purpose is why we journey, and passion is the fire that lights the way. And this year, Commander Triola, the Sons of the American Legion are on board with you, and we are going to be the one with passion and purpose. I look forward to joining you and Madam President throughout the year doing great things. With that, thank you.
Commander Carlton, please remain with us for a few moments. Also, National Commander Triola and the National President Counts. Ladies and gentlemen, National Commander Triola, National President Counts, and Sons of the American Legion National Commander Carlton, our dynamic leadership team for the upcoming year, your American Legion leaders. I now call upon Parliamentarian Vincent Gahn of Illinois for the purpose of a technical motion.
National Commander Paul Dillard, at this time, I would like to make a technical motion and move that the National Adjutant be instructed to review the minutes of all conventions and make all necessary corrections without changing the intent, and to proceed and edit to distribute these minutes. Basically, this motion will codify our common law procedures since 1919. As a delegate to the 103rd National American Legion Convention, I move that this motion be adopted.
I've had a motion and a second for the adjutant to be instructed to review the minutes of the convention and make any necessary technical corrections without changing intent, and to proceed and distribute those minutes. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, sign of aye. Opposed, nay. Carried. National Adjutant, have you any announcements?
Yes, Mr. Commander. Immediately following the adjournment of this convention, the National Executive Committee will meet in the Wisconsin Center rooms 102 A through C, first floor of this building, for the post-NEC meeting. Thank you.
Please uncover as National Chaplain Pastor Stan offers the benediction.
You know, when I first became a minister, they told me that when you have the pulpit and the mic, you are in charge. So I am in charge now. With that being said, has God been good to you? Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, as we close out this 103rd American Legion Convention, we again thank you for watching over all of our national officers. But most importantly, we thank you for watching over and guiding our national commander, Paul Dillard. For without your guidance and your blessing over him, he would not have been able to accomplish all that he has done this past year. We're thankful for you to watch over and guide all of our American Legion leaders. For without your guidance, they too would not be able to accomplish all that they did. We all know that this is not a one-man's organization, and that without your guidance, they would not have been able to do all that they have done. We ask that you watch over all of those that have to travel to their final destinations. Let their journeys be safe and without any complication. And it truly has been a great year, and we all that know that it was because of you that this has been done. So as you leave this place, I ask that you all go with God's peace, go with God's grace, but most of all, please go with God's love and pass this love on to others that you meet during the coming time. And my last three words for you for the last time, go to church. And all God's children said,
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Sergeant Arms, retire the POWMA flag. Please recover. The color guard will retire the flag of the United States. Delegates will stand and hand salute on my command.
Our guard. Our word. March. Ready. Base. Retrieve. Colors. Ready, set. Arms.
And salute.
2. Take. Colors. Assemble. March.
Two. The time is 11:50. I now declare this 103rd National Convention of the American Legion adjourned. Remember, travel safe, be safe, because your membership counts.